All right, so today I want to talk about the people you're spending your time around. All right. So I've got water on my fingers from this glass of water. I just rubbed it on my nose. Right. Am I going to edit that out? Probably not. Right. You're going to see me wiping my nose, water off my nose. Right. So the people you spend your time around. This is important. I'm sure you've heard the quote, "You are the sum of the five people you spend your most time around." All right. So take a look. Who are those people? Obviously, some of the people are going to be people you work with, people you choose to see, best friends. For me, obviously, one of them would be my son. So that's not really a conscious decision. I'm going to spend a lot of time with him. But friends, and then also like how much time you spend with your family and family members, it's going to mold you into becoming more like them. So you need to look around at the five people you're spending the most time with and think, would I like to be like them? Would I like for my personality to be blended with theirs a little bit? Because that is what's happening. The more time you spend with someone, the more akin to them you're going to be, the more alike to them you're going to be. You need to look at the people you're spending time with and think, would I be happy if I became more like you? Is it a good thing? Sometimes you can hang around with people that you are trying to elevate to be more like you, almost like a mentor level kind of thing, and that's good if you're trying to mentor someone. But it's the negative traits you need to think: are the people I'm hanging around with the most having a negative impact on my personality, or are they having a positive impact on my personality? Are they motivating me to become better? Do they excel in something which I would like to be doing better in, so I can learn a bit from them, or are they doing well in something that's motivating me to do better in that field, or is the fact that they're driven in their field motivating me to be driven in my field? Um, is it achievement based, or is it, look, this person is really caring? I like the way they are with people. This person has a good manner when they talk to people. This person is a bit extroverted. I like the way they say things. This person seems more comfortable talking to people than I do. So it'd be nice to pick up on some of these little subtle social cues and incorporate those into my personality, consciously or subconsciously. It doesn't necessarily matter to that degree, although we want to try and lead a conscious life, proactive life. But you will, if you're spending lots of time with someone, be subconsciously picking up on some of their personality traits. Um, and what's it called, like revertigo as well? Like if you hang out with someone you haven't seen for a long time, you can revert to some of your old personality traits that you used to have when you were hanging out with them, uh, which can be a good thing if you were a good version of yourself, or a better version of yourself, or had an aspect of yourself that was better then. But be conscious of if it's if your revertigo is a negative one. You're reverting back to negative personality traits of a prior self that you were when you used to hang out with them a lot. That's another thing. But it's I don't know what this quote is. I don't know if it's biblical or if it's Roman or Stoic or something. I'm not certain. I've seen it, but it's just as iron sharpens iron, man sharpens man. Something similar to that. So if you are hanging out with your boys, your men, your mates, this is for me, obviously, because I'm a man. But if you're a female watching this, then it would be your girls, I suppose. But if I'm hanging out with my boys and we're talking about gym, money, discipline, what we're eating, right? Mindset, goals. What what do you think we're going to take from those conversations when we leave, right? I've just seen a friend today, which made me think, and I had a brilliant time. I've come away, we chatted about lots of productive things, and I've come out of that conversation absolutely energized. In I've forgotten the word I was just about to use. Um, don't worry about it. Enthused, very enthused about my goals and the things that I'm going to do moving forwards, right? Every time I see someone, I want to be coming away from it feeling the way I've come away from today. Really looking forward to my future, really driven, really empowered, you know? Um, I want to feel like that. So I've had a good time with a friend. I feel like iron has sharpened iron and I've come away sharper, you know? Talking about your goals, not necessarily like empty promises and stuff like that. I do not believe in that. I don't believe in saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But talking, the way I talk about things is, this is what I'd like to do, and these are the steps. And I'll talk and discuss the steps. What do you think? And bounce ideas around with your boys, with your friends. You know, I don't know what your friends are, boys or girls, whatever. Drink your water, right? So we bounce ideas around. We're trying to two heads better than one, three heads, four heads. If you're all collectively thinking about the same thing, you can really you can get twice as much work done. You can get twice as many good ideas. You know, if you're around the right people, life will get better. You know, I just think when I'm around my mates who work out and we're chatting about workouts, I'm just thinking about working out and I'm excited to do my next workout. And I'm really keen to, if I'm with a mate who's stronger than me, lifts heavier, I'm so much more motivated to try and increase my weight on my lifts, you know? It's not necessarily competition. It is nice to be a bit competitive against, not necessarily against, that's my point. Be a bit competitive with your friends, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you want to beat them, but it just makes you better. If you're both a little bit competitive, it's not competitive. Like, I've got a mate who's considerably stronger than me, right? When he talks about the lifts that he does, I'm not going to be able to do that soon, you know. But it makes me want to lift more than I currently can. Iron sharpens iron. I have a drive to do better than I am doing because someone else is doing better than me, and it's not like I want to overtake him or I want to beat him. It's just that I think, oh, I could be doing a little bit better, you know. I could be doing a little bit better here, you know. And it's such a perfect quote: "Iron sharpens iron, man sharpens man." When I sit with my friends and we're talking about, you know, different ways you can make money, and oh, what about this business venture? What about this? It's ideas, you know. Obviously, like currently, not a fucking multi-millionaire, not got 500 side hustles that I'm actively working on, like making loads of money. But it's just such a good idea to throw these around, and who knows, maybe one day you actually put two or three out there. One of them takes off massively, make loads of money. But if you're just sat with your mates, oh, so and so said this the other day. Oh, what did so and so do? Oh, fucking, do you know what I mean? A bit gossiping and like sometimes it's nice to be like, oh yeah, oh did you hear so and so did that? Oh yeah, all right, cool. You know? Oh, so and so had a baby. Oh, did they? Oh, cool. You know. But fuck me, do I want to hear that all the time? No. I want to be talking about things that will improve my life. And then I talk about, have you read this book by this person? Bloody amazing. Read that. Oh no, but I've heard about this. And what about this book by this person? Oh fucking no, I've added that to my list. You know, what about this mindset? Or I've been really looking into. I just said stoicism earlier. I've really been looking into stoicism earlier. Ah, so have I. I just read Marcus Aurelius Meditations. You know, you should try that. All right, I bought it. You know, we're bouncing ideas around, positively moving. You know, drink water. I'm. What is the word? I've forgotten the word again. Forgetting words now. But I'm really passionate when I've seen friends that have the same interests as me, and those interests being some form of self improvement, whether self improvement on the, there's three really, isn't there? There's spiritual, mental, and physical improvement. I suppose material improvement as well could be one, but that's more. These three are for yourself, and this is for like the fourth one. The material is for your things, like if you're bettering your financial situation or you're bettering your home in some way, you know, like I don't know. where I'm currently living in this little apartment, took like 6 months off work. Me and my granddad made it from the building that it was into an apartment. So say if one of my this hasn't happened, but I put the kitchen in, put everything in. Did the bathroom, installed the bathroom, did the plumbing, did the tiling. If one of my mates was talking about tiling, whatever, we could have a conversation about tiling, and then all of a sudden you're bouncing ideas. Oh, what about this tile? Oh, and how are you going to do this? Oh, I don't know about and you can talk and share your mutual skill. I don't know how to put this class. You can share your mutual skills, your mutual interests, and this is another thing. If you've got an interest that's slightly here, and they've got an interest that's slightly here, but there's some overlap, you can share knowledge, and then you can have a sort of a working understanding of something which is slightly akin to your interest without having to spend so much time researching it if that's not something that particularly interests you. So obviously, if you have to study for something, learn something that you're not massively enthused about learning, it's a bit more difficult, isn't it? Because you almost have to force yourself to do it because it doesn't come naturally to you. But if you are really interested, it just comes naturally. You just want to learn more, 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 more. I want to do that extra reading. I want to look into it. I want to watch these videos. I want to watch, I just want to learn more. But you can have conversations around slightly akin to topics and have a slightly better understanding of something that you're not particularly massively interested in. I guess that's the case with like listening to podcasts and stuff. Like you can just listen to an overview of someone who knows better than you do in something without having to spend that time researching. But if you choose friends that have, I'm not saying choose your friends based on don't choose your friends based on what they can offer you. I wouldn't choose a friend because I know that they specialize in something, like obviously based on their character, but you should choose friends that their character makes your character better. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be where you want to go. Like one day I'd love to be a millionaire. Doesn't mean my friends have to be millionaires. But it's nice to have conversations around how could we make some of that money. How could you make money? What would be a good business venture? What would be a good place to invest some money? Oh, have you ever done any forex trading? Have you got any cryptos? It's good to have conversations like this stuff, bounce the ideas around, and these conversations. When I have these conversations, they give me energy, and I'm not an extrovert. I don't have energy from. I don't naturally have energy to give in conversations. I naturally am quite um, not flat, but I don't naturally bounce energy, don't radiate energy in conversations naturally. But when I'm having these conversations with friends that are into the same things as me, it gives me energy. It generates energy for me. I'm not all the way introverted like I have been in the past, but these conversations give me energy, and I end up with more energy than I had before I started the conversation. You know, so so I would suggest choosing friends, choosing people in your life that obviously that care about you, but that give you that energy, that do support you, and especially when you do something right, they're fucking in your corner, like they're really proud of you, they really big you up, make you feel good, they really push you to get those positive things done, to keep going on the good path for self-improvement, self-betterment, getting these good things done. But then also will just tell you the truth when you have been a bit slack or when you are fucking up. And look, I've been there where I've just told people, you know, you've put on a bit of weight, or mate, drinking a little bit too much, or something like that. Or, oh mate, are you doing drugs a little bit too much? Are you maybe neglecting your friends in a certain way? Like I've been that person to tell people these things that they're doing wrong, and at the time, I'm certain that even though some things in the past I have said in not the most empathetic way. I'm working on that. Although I do like to be direct if I can be, but there's sometimes I'm learning that I can't just be direct. It's it's something I've learned that not always. I've learned that there's a difference between it being true and being acceptable to say, if you know what I mean. Like, I think you should always say the truth, but I've learned that the way I say it, I might have to monitor sometimes. Because when I got into the idea of always telling the truth, I was just very cut and dry about it, very black and white, But now I'm learning to be a little bit more. I will give you the truth and the truths that hurt sometimes, but I'll do it in a way that is best fitting for your situation. If I think the best way for you to hear it is black and white, like you're an idiot, mate, then I'll say that. But sometimes I'll do it a little bit gentler if I feel that's the right way to go. But I always believe in telling the truth. And so you want to be around the people that will give you those truths. And you want to be around people that accept it when you give them the truth as well. Because you want to be someone who will tell the truth no matter what, because you want the other person to get better. And you want people in your corner that will tell you the truth because they want you to get better, And you can tell in your heart, you can feel when you're like in a vibration that's in sync with them or not, You can feel in sync with the personality, and you can feel if someone has your best interest in heart, I think you can feel that, and sometimes letting the ego go a little bit and just trying to see where they're coming from with it, not necessarily getting defensive and letting our ego bounce up. That's the thing. If you are doing something wrong, you have to let that ego slide a little bit and see, well, is this person telling me that because they're a bitchy person? Are they trying to evoke something out of me, or are they saying that because I am doing something wrong here and I probably could improve, and they care about me and they want me to improve? I don't know what that is, a bit of emotional maturity or something, but maybe distancing yourself a little bit from your own emotions. That's a topic I will cover soon, actually. But distancing yourself from your own emotions, your own reactions to the way that people say something, especially people who care about you, people who love you, your best friends. But I'll come back to this initial point. You need to choose the people to be around you that are going to make you better in some way, and not be the people around you who make you worse. What did I hear the other day? Someone say, like, enforcing. Like, I don't know what they said. I don't remember who it was. Some podcast I was listening to, probably. Just trying to remember who it was. Was it enforcing? Was it enabling? Enabling? Enabling your behavior? Is it like, do you choose to be around the people who just enable your bad behavior, who just let you get away with doing negative behavior? Or are you going to be around the people who will call you up on your negative behavior and don't enable you to? But then if you're keen on doing that negative behavior, you're going to favor the people who enable it. Like if you drink to excess and you enjoy drinking to excess, and it is probably realistically is a problem, but you are not willing to accept that and you want to carry on doing that, then you're going to want to be around the people who drink a lot, and who you have a laugh with and have a drink with. You're not going to want to be around the people who say, "Oh, you drink a bit much, mate, don't you? This is getting a problem now." But probably that's exactly what you need to hear to actually improve your life. Like, there's everything in moderation, but people who care about you are going to tell you these things, whether you want to hear them or not. So you should surround yourself with the people who will improve you in some way, and not the people who are just enabling your bad behavior, constantly negative people are just fucking awful. This is one for me. Like, stressful people that get really, really overstressed at things and overwhelmed, and that really, really rubs off on me, because then if I spend so much time with really stressy, overwhelmed people, it makes me really stressy and overwhelmed. I get at work sometimes, I spend time, and it's like the days like spent around people who are just like really stressy, tetchy, like it makes me that way. And naturally, in my innate state before I started this job and stuff, you know, like I'm actually quite fucking laid back. Like I don't really care that much about much, you know. Like I don't care about opinions. If I'm gonna be late, then I'm gonna be late. What good is stressing about the situation gonna cause me? You know, if something bad's gonna happen and you can't change it, then the best thing you can do is have a positive mindset about it, not have a negative mindset about it. Doesn't matter what it is. Stress. There's different types of stress. Stress that to meet a deadline, that stress that is motivating you to get things done fast, like stress because urgency stress can be good, but stress where you're just like worried about it and irate, frantic stress, but that's not productive. Oh, it's a fucking nightmare that, and being around people like that really gets to me. So I have to consciously try and limit my exposure to that as much as I can. There's some people you can't avoid spending time with. You got to also, it's about the mind as well, because if you have to spend your time with these people, you're conscious. Like, if it's one of your big five, like the five people you spend the most time with, look, you have to be around this person for like work or for some obligation, then you have to be conscious of what you let into your brain. There's a certain amount of subconscious things that you just will pick up on, and that's just a shame if it's negative. Like sometimes you're just going to have to try and develop a little bit of is it neuro or neural plasticity? I think it's neural, one of the two. Okay, I don't know which one it is. Plasticity, where you kind of try and rewrite your own thoughts and your thought patterns and the way that you perceive and do things, right? But there's a certain amount of that you have to do, but there's also a distancing. Like I'm really logical in the way that I go about doing things. I live in logic. I distance myself from my emotions. I try and distance myself from the feedback of other people. I try and distance myself from the thoughts and the speech of other people, and analyze if someone says something to me, what is it they're meaning? Where are they coming from? I'm not just letting. I see it almost as water, like it, or waves or something, like it's washing towards me, and then it can get in me, this water, and flow like around me, kind of thing, like the energy of it, I suppose, on a spiritual way you could say, like that, like it's kind of a fluid, and I try and keep the fluid at a distance, so it's kind of like around my aura or something, but it's not. This is a way of visualizing what I'm thinking. So the way that someone says something, instead of letting that wash right into me and absorbing me, I try and keep the water kind of like at a distance and kind of analyze it a bit before I decide whether or not to allow it in. And that's something you might have to do, if you're around someone who is quite negative or is quite stressful, is quite moany, is quite bitchy, you might have to consciously try to not allow that into you, because it, like I said, some things are conscious, some things are subconscious. Your subconscious, you can't do a great deal of letting, like what that lets in, but you can try and rewrite that when it's in. You can be conscious of rewriting the bad stuff you've let in, but you shouldn't consciously let bad things in. Like if I consciously choose to be, if I'm on a crossroads and I've consciously chosen to be stressed when I could have tried my best to just be chilled about it, then that's bad. You don't consciously let in the bad things. You should try limit your exposure to these people and limit the amount of conscious negativity that you allow into yourself. But on a positive note, rejoice in the fact that you're around positive people, and be around positive people and the motivating people and the people that get you energized and infused about doing things, really build you up. And you can feel when you're just resonating with someone else, and you're having a conversation, it just resonates and it's just fucking amazing, and you leave that conversation feeling 10 times better than you went in, even though you felt good already. Today, reasonably good day. I don't think I've had a bad day at all. Certainly not. No, in fact, I had a good day. I had a good day today. I got some time to do a run today. I did a run faster than I would have done a run previously. I forced myself to go a little bit faster today. I had a freezing cold shower afterwards. Amazing. Then I went out. Had an amazing conversation with a friend for a long time. And you know what? I feel fucking amazing, to be honest. having this conversation has brought my energy level down because I've used a lot of the energy already now talking. But I'm still very happy. I feel happy, or like positive about the conversations that I had, about the way that I feel, about how motivated I am to do the things that I was talking about, you know. And that's because I spent time with a good person, a person who should be in my top five people you spend the most time with. You are the sum of those people. They will rub off on you, so you should be conscious of who you choose and choose them for the right reasons. So with that, before I waffle like absolute fuck and go on and on and on and on, like I probably have done, but before I let it get any worse, summarised it reasonably well. Yeah, be conscious of the people you're around and the parts of them that you choose to incorporate into yourself. Okay, so brilliant. Hope you enjoyed.